Hello and welcome to year 2 of our league pick video series. My name is Chris, and joined with me is my partner, Jason.
As of yet unnamed video series, right? Good to be here with you, man.
Yep, we did a video a couple of weeks ago where we just said basically where this teams are going to end up, who's going to be at the bottom or top of each division. This will be our first week 1 video of the 2025 season. Anything you want to add?
Just that, we're gonna do some extra points for the for picking the division winners and losers. If Chris wasn't such a lazy bum, he would put a link to it in the show notes, but he's not going to. And yeah, just honestly, yeah, excited for kickoff tomorrow. Excited for week 1, especially where all the teams that I care about play. And yeah, man, let's have another good year of Pick'em.
Alright, let's get right into it. Tomorrow night, Thursday night football, we have the Cowboys at Philadelphia. What do you think about this battle of the Titans here?
Oh, they know how to draw eyes. I mean, it's one Titan and one. I don't know. I guess Dallas is a Titan. It's just a Titan with arthritis and jaundice and probably has
Liver
had
failure?
several
Yeah.
quintuple bypasses done already,
Liver
but still a Titan.
failure? Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. Um, this is just a bad draw for week 1 for Dallas, man. Especially under the lights. Um, look, they're not a bad team, but Philly just looked so damn good last year. Um, I think they still have a lot that they feel like they have to prove in terms of like Kansas City did it multiple times in a row, and Philly knows that they're perfectly capable of doing it multiple times in a row. But they've got their doubters. So I think Philly is going to come out and absolutely trounce the Cowboys. What do you think?
I really don't know what to expect from the Cowboys this season. I feel like there's a decent chance that they could, start the season doing well, but I also think there's a good chance that they could just, completely start the season like 0-4 or something.
Hmm.
It's impossible to take the Cowboys in this game without knowing more. So yeah, definitely got the Eagles too.
Yeah, I mean the Cowboys are a team that's capable of almost anything. Obviously, they made some interesting changes in the offseason. I don't know if they were for the better, but they're definitely mixing things up. Saquon Barkley, if he stays healthy this season, I can't envision a scenario he has less than 100 yards a game average. Like, he's just finally behind a good line and with a good team. He looks absolutely unstoppable, to a level that like I don't even think CMC looks when he's healthy.
I don't know. I heard a couple weeks ago that every player who's ever had a 2,000-yard rushing season has not had a
Mhm.
good follow-up season. Like the next highest they ever got was like 1,200 yards after that, which is still good, but
Yeah.
it's not 2,000.
True that a lot of them come down. It's true that a lot of them come down,
There's like
but
6 guys who've done it, I think, or something like that.
6 guys have hit 2K. I thought it
Something
was
like that.
only wow.
5 or 6, I don't know.
Oh,
Something like
is
that.
that all-purpose yards and not rushing, or is that rushing?
And I think it was rushing.
Wow, that's surprising to me that there's that many. But at any rate, you're right. That often after a running back has an incredible season, or really any player, there's often a come down after that. But look, this was Saquon's first opportunity to play with a good team. There's no mean to regress to, as I mentioned a lot last week or last time we did a video. So I've got really, really high hopes for him, and as much as I hate to say it, for the Eagles in general. All right, let's move on.
Alright, next up, we've got this game in Brazil between the Chiefs and the Chargers.
Yeah, it's interesting they're trying to bring this version of football to Brazil so hard.
Oh, it's a night game, too. Okay.
Yeah, but very cool. I really honestly like that they do the like the around the world games. I'm sure the teams hate it, but I wish they would do it more. Kansas City, look, I thought they were the best team last year. I still don't think I was proven wrong, right? They had one bad game. And as you say, a lot of help from the refs, but the Chargers are a very good team. I don't think they're as good as the Chiefs are, and I don't think that the Chiefs window has closed. What do you think? So I'm taking the Chiefs.
I don't think the Chiefs' window has closed, but I do think they're like a dynasty on decline. I do think
Sure, but I mean,
Mahomes has statistically been worse every season of his career. So
a few years before Rome got sacked, like who was as good as Rome was?
that's right. They're in the late Empire period.
Yeah, but I
Hmm.
mean, like, there's still nobody out there that's better, right?
Oh, you got some Gauls, you got some Saxons,
Mm-hmm. Don't
Germanic
forget China.
barbarians. Anyway, yeah, it's hard to take the. I'm still taking the Chiefs, but just because I don't really know what to make of the Chargers. I don't really.
Oh, okay.
I'm
I
not
see.
really a Sean Herbert fan, to be honest. I don't really think he's everything people say he is.
Yeah, I mean, like the Chargers always, gain a reputation for being a soft team, and I think especially late in the season, but in general, when they're playing against the best teams in the league, they do kind of prove their haters right sometimes. As much as they're a very good team, it really seems like when you need to play like the hardest nosed football, and be clutch against a very good team, the Chargers often find a way to lose.
All right, next up we got our first of our Sunday games. We got another divisional game between the Bucks at Atlanta. Full disclosure, Baker Mayfield's my fantasy quarterback this season, which could lead to some delusional picks.
Yeah, which means you're gonna be you're gonna be taking Tampa Bay a lot of times when you shouldn't, and probably picking against them a lot of times when you should be picking them because you're just frustrated how he hasn't performed for your fantasy team.
Well, I think they're in a place where they're good enough to beat any team at any given time.
Well, Suns did look really good last season.
I
It
definitely
surprised
think
me.
they're the
I
best
gotta
team
admit.
in the division.
I've got to admit, it surprised me last season how good they were.
And I think I don't think the Falcons are just going to hit the ground running with their new, like, essentially rookie quarterback. But I wouldn't be surprised if Kirk Cousins comes back at some point in the season.
I mean, is it fair to call Penix a rookie? I mean, he looked good when he was a rookie.
Well, he played 2 games last season, so I think it's
Was
fair.
that it? Okay, I thought he played more.
Yeah, so I'm definitely going to give this one to the Bucks until
It's
Chrissy
almost like being a
sees
redshirt
more.
freshman. Yeah, I want to make a spicy pick here, but honestly, like, given how good the Buccaneers looked, I don't think they had any trauma during the off season that I can remember, at least. I like the Buccaneers too, and hopefully we'll be picking differently soon.
Okay, next up, we've got the Bengals at Cleveland, and I feel like this is almost kind of a similar story. It's another divisional game, but I don't think the Browns are going to be quite as bad as everyone thinks they're going to be. I do think they're going to be bad and probably the worst in the division, though. But I don't think they're going to be like bottom 3 draft pick bad.
Look, and did I have the Browns or the Steelers? No, I had the Browns to lose the division. I still think the Steelers are going to be bad, but yeah, not as far into the toilet bowl that the Browns are. Um,
Where they won 4 games, they won like 4-1 with Justin Fields. I think they can win games with Aaron Rodgers.
I mean, yeah, but it's Aaron Rodgers. I think that they'll
Oh,
realize how happy and lucky they were to have Justin Fields by the end of this season. Anyway, we're
yes.
not talking about the Steelers. We're talking about the Browns and the Bengals, who I think won their last 5 games of the season last year. As much as they had a bunch of those weird, weird losses at the beginning, where they would lose on Hail Marys and score 50 points and take an L. They really did pull it together in the end, even if it wasn't enough. I absolutely I would take the Bengals in this one by a mile. I think they're going to win this first game by 30 points, and that's not even my prop bet.
The Bengals always end up losing like in weeks 1 and 2 for some reason. They're like 1-15 over like Joe Burrow's career there in like weeks 1 through 3 or something. But I
Mhm.
think they're gonna win this game. Break that.
You're gonna take sense, of course.
Of course,
Before we
man.
move on, there was actually one thing that I wanted to mention at the top that I forgot to say. Um, just to give us a little bit more of an incentive for spicy picks this season. Um, I thought it would be cool if you pick a team that's like a heavy underdog. I mean, we can figure out the numbers now or after the video if you want. But I'm thinking something like if a team is like plus 170 in the betting, which essentially means they're like almost almost like a 2-to-1 underdog,
Yeah, I'm
or
just
even more
not into the
unlikely.
gambling as much as you, dude.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I can look up the numbers if you just think that you might have a spicy pick that's an underdog. Let me know. I'll look up the number for you. But if you pick an underdog that's that heavy, and you win, you get 2 points instead of one.
I'll think about it.
Okay, we can talk offline and maybe introduce it for week 2 or do it retroactively.
All right, next up we've got the Dolphins at Indianapolis. Is
Hmm.
this shit bowl one because we got like 3 or 4 competitors?
Nah, man, this isn't shitball anything. Like, the Colts aren't even a bad team, but the Dolphins have gotten so much crap. Oh, Mike McDaniel, the best coach in the NFL, is in the hot seat. Like, well, uh, you know, Tyreek Hill, trouble in paradise. Tua.
I've never heard
Come
anyone
on,
call him the
man.
best coach in the NFL.
They did for a while, but like, yeah, I mean, it's clearly Dan Campbell now, but like, Mike McDaniel is a very, very, very good coach. I mean, easily top five. I think if you don't think he's a top five coach, you're an idiot. But, um, but yeah, I mean, it's ridiculous. They went 8-9 last season. Sure, they had really high expectations. They went 8-9. And I don't think Tua got to play every game. I think he was out 4 or 5 games. Sometimes I mix up all the seasons, but
So you got the
look,
Colts, okay.
they were 10 plus win team every season before that under this like team in terms of Hill and Waddle being together, in terms of McDaniel being there. It is in terms of a chain playing. It's so ridiculous to think that they're like a washed bottom half team. I think the reason people don't think that they've got a shot is because the Buffalo Bills are obviously gonna be the division winners, right? And that's fair. Dolphins are a good team, and the Colts are a fine team too. And I think Richardson has done more than a lot of people were expecting. I, I'm taking Miami in this. I think they've won week 1 every year that McDaniel's been there, and to call this a toilet bowl is insanity, man. I'm
Yeah, it
sorry.
was mostly just insulting, yeah.
I know, but
I'm
I am
also
gonna
gonna
go with
pick
the.
the Yeah, I'm also gonna pick the Dolphins because I don't even think Anthony Richardson is gonna start. I think they're starting Daniel Jones and he's a washed up like loser, so
Oh, are they really?
I'm pretty sure they're starting Daniel Jones
I mean that makes sense, but like it's dumb. Yeah, yeah, you're right. They are starting Jones. Why?
because they both suck, dude. That's why.
Richardson at least. I mean, at least showed I think promise, right? Daniel Jones is a known quantity for sucking.
All right, next up we've
But
got the
again, he didn't have a
Panthers
team around either.
at Jacksonville, and
Hmm.
these next few are gonna be tough to call. It's kind of hard to even decipher like the logic at play that goes into calling some of these games.
Yeah, these next two could legitimately be the toilet bowl for week one. I mean, it's almost unfair, right? Like, until a team actually sucks for the season, maybe we shouldn't give out that dubious honor.
And I think it's correct to call this one Shit Bowl 1. It's only fair. Call it like a dynasty league, you know? They're carrying over from last year's stench.
Panthers, you got Jaguars. They're both big cats. They probably can't swim.
This one's tough to call. I guess I have to just. I don't know. I guess I want to give it to the Jags just because this Bryce Young fool has just got to be like just. He's got to be close to just going out back and just ending it all after being the starter for like 2 seasons and just having like 4 wins or something. So I guess I got to give it to the Jags.
You know how, like last year, I was saying the whole year, Jacksonville is sneaky good. Jacksonville is sneaky good. I learned my lesson. I think Carolina is sneaky good.
Okay.
Carolina, not good, but sneaky. All right, sneaky adequate. Um,
Sneaky bad, yeah. Okay.
they were up against good teams so many times at halftime last year, and just found ways to lose it in the second half. Defense is playing well. They have some creative play calling. I probably couldn't name more than a couple players on this team, but every time I actually turned it on and watched them playing, especially if it was the first half, I was like, this is actually a team that could get something done this season. I'm going with Carolina here, and I think we have our first split decision.
Okay. Alright, next up we've got the Raiders at New England. There's honestly a lot of hype about these teams being on an upward trajectory this season. And this is like a version of the Panthers Jaguars I can actually like get excited about because I do think both these teams are trending upwards, and those other teams are just perpetual basement dwellers.
I mean,
So
what was the last time Las Vegas looked good? It was when they had Josh Jacobs.
yeah, but I think there's a lot of hype about their rookie running back that I took in the first round.
All right.
There you go. And everyone thinks this Drake May guy is going to be much better in the second season, and they improved the team in the off season. I'm going to give it to the Raiders, though.
New England's really good at developing talent, so I don't have a problem with giving the Patriots the benefit of the doubt. The Raiders are still reeling from the John Gruden era and how he absolutely destroyed their team, like he destroyed every team he's ever been a part of. But
Didn't he win the Super Bowl
yeah,
or something?
he won a Super Bowl his first season after he was given, probably the most talented, roster in the league. He coached all right that year. He lost the support of the locker room. The team fell apart, and they gave up probably the biggest collapse of all time. Eat your heart out, Atlanta Falcons, by giving up 3 touchdowns with less than 4 minutes to go the next season against the Peyton Manning-led Colts, who were just starting to be like a very good team. That was the last time the Buccaneers had any dignity, and I think the first time he looked at the Colts and said, "Yeah, that's a Super Bowl team. Just a matter of when."
All right.
Uh,
You got the
yeah,
Raiders or the Patriots, fool.
he's probably not good at golf either. I'm taking the Patriots.
Okay. Next up, we've got the Cardinals at New Orleans. And this is another tough one to pick because I also think the Cardinals suck. But I have to think the Saints are going to be better than they were last season. I don't know. Something inside me just like says that they like have to be redeemed. Something about them. I don't know if it's like Drew Brees holdover or something. I just like they have to be redeemed somehow. This Kyler Murray
Yeah.
fool, he can just like take a shit or something. I don't know.
Saints
So
have a rookie. Saints have a rookie quarterback, but they're not starting him, so they obviously think he needs development, which I mean, look, I in the NFL, right? I think it's a lot better in general if you can give a rookie quarterback, time to hold the clipboard for a good quarterback. But he's holding it for Spencer Rattler.
All right. I'm going to
I
say the Saints hit the ground running like they did last season, even though then they went on to lose like 12 games in a row. I think they started like 4-0 last season.
they did. Well, I mean, they definitely. I don't know that they started 4-0, but they started with like two 35-point wins.
Maybe it was
Yeah,
just 2-0.
I mean, 2-0 was the best that they may have ever had. It's possible it was 4-0. I think they did lose the third game, but yeah, they looked really good after the first couple. I don't see a lot to like there personally.
One of those
Um,
was against the Cowboys. That's why I remember it.
I mean, they've still got Kamara at least, right?
Yep. So who do you got, man?
This is a harder one for me. I mean, I'm leaning towards the Cardinals. They didn't do a lot last season that I didn't like. They just kind of were there. They were mediocre. They won some tough games. They lost some games they definitely should have won. The Saints. I'm gonna take the Cards. This is I think the hardest pick for me so far.
All right. Next up, got probably the easiest pick for you. We
Oh, you
got
have the
the
Saints, right?
we got the Steelers at the Jets, and
This is
let
your
me
easiest
guess,
pick.
you think the Jets are just gonna destroy the Steelers, right?
I'm gonna say it outright. I've got the Jets in this one.
No surprise there. I'm
Yeah, I've got
definitely
the Jets.
picking the Steelers because there is no way the Jets got better in the offseason.
I mean, look, they have somebody to throw to Garrett Wilson now.
Okay, you are one man on a small fucking island that thinks Justin Fields can throw the ball. That's fucking crazy.
I mean, look, he did some stuff well in Chicago. He did some stuff well, in Pittsburgh.
If he could throw for
You
his
now have
life, they wouldn't have benched him for Russell
like a
Wilson.
96-year-old Aaron Rodgers who just. I mean, it's true that that Aaron Rodgers did leave the Jets in shambles, so I should be careful with this pick. They're still reeling from all the people that he was only comfortable with them that he brought in that weren't even that good. Um, and just trying to run the whole team, overpaying, yeah, bad salary cap, but at least they don't have Aaron Rodgers anymore. And for that reason, I'm gonna take a flyer on the Jets here. Um, Probably a spice pick. I get it. I think probably the smart money has the Steelers here. Um, but let's face it, Aaron Rodgers is terrible. And he wasn't always terrible, but he's terrible now. All right, what do you think? Because I went on my little gala rant there.
I'm definitely picking the Steelers.
Yeah, but tell
You're
me
out of your
why. Tell
damn
me what you
mind.
think of this team in this game.
Because I just think they're overall a better team at every phase of the ball, man.
Well, they were last year.
I don't think they're great. I think they're decent, and I think the
Mhm.
Jets are not decent.
Well, they
Uh,
weren't last year, and they haven't been for many years. They really haven't been since Rex Ryan.
even if Russell Wilson is or Aaron Rodgers is just a little bit better, or a little bit worse than Russell Wilson was, I think the Steelers will probably still be way better than the Jets.
I don't think there's any chance that Aaron Rodgers at this age can be nearly as good as Russell Wilson was. And RW,
Hmm.
did not have his best year on the Steelers, that's for sure.
Yeah, I know. All
But
right.
I think I think I agree with you that if Aaron Rodgers can be as good as Russell Wilson was on the Steelers, this should be an easy pick for the Steelers. I agree with that. I just don't think there's a chance that happens, man.
All right. Next up, we've got the Giants at the Redskins. And
The football team.
there's a lot of hype around these Redskins this season, obviously.
Hmm.
I don't think there's going to be like a sophomore slump, but I don't think they're going to win as many games because it just seems kind of unrepeatable for them to do as well as they did last season. I think they'll
I
still make the playoffs. I think they'll do well. I think Jane Daniels will still have a good like second season, but I think there's definitely going to be a downward in like production and like wins though.
Yeah, I mean, if you remember, I took the Commanders to win the division this year. I do think that the Eagles, like I said, incredibly good team. I think the Commanders right now also incredibly good team. Now, to what you said, right? They did win a lot of games. I don't want to say by flukes, but by really clutch moments that could have gone either way, and they could have been, an 8 or 9 win team if they hadn't like pulled out those clutch wins. So that's 1 point in your favor. Second point, they're going to have a harder schedule this year. Although I think that they were still only second in the division, right? So it's not going to be a really hard schedule. They're not going to play all the division winners. But the fact that Jaden Daniels came out so incredibly poised and ready at the beginning of his first year. The fact that the defense got so much better from from the beginning of the season last year to the end of the season. I really think that they are Super Bowl contenders, just like the Eagles are.
So you got the
And again,
Giants.
I have I have the Giants to be in the Super Bowl stands, watching as either the Eagles or the Commanders are actually playing. Yeah, obvious take of the Washington football team here, and I assume you have them as well.
Yeah, but I do like Russell Wilson. I'm curious how the Giants improve in the off season with Russ and with whatever the hell else they added. But yeah, it's hard to pick against the Redskins in this one.
Yeah, I mean Wilson is definitely the best thing that's been at the helm of New York in a lot of years. But I mean, just the whole team is in disarray. It's just not a good team. And I think we've kind of seen, right, that Wilson surrounded by nothing does struggle.
All right, next up we've got the Tennessee Titans at Denver, and I'm definitely a big believer in the Broncos trending upwards. That defense of theirs, I just think, is so stank nasty.
Yeah.
And I am a firm believer in the basement dwelling tactics of the Titans too. I think they got like one of the best quarterbacks in the draft, but I don't know if they're starting him. And even if they are, I'm still taking the Broncos.
Yeah, I mean the Broncos have an excellent running game and pretty good passing game with Bo and his receivers to not only do what they like the little bit that needs to be done to win games when your defense is that good, but to actually like even if the defense takes a step back this year, I think Denver has what it takes to succeed. Again, a team that's going to face a harder schedule than they have in the last few years, but I think Denver's looking up, and the Titans are not. I've
So,
got Denver.
okay. All right, next up we've got the Niners at Seattle.
Hmm.
And this one might actually be closer than some people think. I'm in the big kind of 49ers comeback season camp over here. That doesn't necessarily, I mean, McCaffrey's going to return to being like Jesus, but
Uh-huh.
I do think the 49ers are going to bounce back. I do think they're going to win the division. I do think they're going to, like, make the playoffs, do well, and all that shit. But,
I'm so sad that the Seahawks got rid of Tyler Lockett the same season that they bring in Cooper Kupp. Like they would have been such a dual threat together. Yeah, I
guy's
am
washed.
also in. Huh?
See, that guy's old, man. He's old and gets hurt every year.
Oh, okay. You're singing freaking Aaron Rodgers' praises, and like 32-year-old Cooper Kupp is too old. Okay.
If Aaron had to run deep routes every game, I'd be like, he's way too old for that too.
Whatever. I'm in can't come back for the 49ers as well. We both have them to win the division. I do think Seattle is going to be a pretty good team. But especially, if you've got a healthy CMC week one, part of the reason that they haven't been, winning seasons is because best player on their team, gets injured for half the season. Week one, I don't think he's going down with an injury. I've got San Francisco as well.
All right, next up we've got the Lions at Green Bay, and this one might be a close game, a tough one to call actually. Home game for Green Bay. I think
Yeah.
both these teams are pretty good. I don't know if the Lions will be anywhere near as dominant this season, or they might just keep on keeping on and go right to being very dominant. It's kind of hard to say.
Yeah, I feel like teams that like playing through the air like the Lions do tend to do really well in September. They were obviously, one of the greatest offenses we've ever seen in the last two seasons. And I don't expect that to stop. Yes, Green Bay is a very good team. Yes, Love keeps getting better. Yes, aside from maybe their special teams, they really kind of lack a weakness. But Detroit's offense is just too damn good. I feel like they're going to comfortably win even on the road. You've got them as well, right?
I think I'm going to be a bit of a party pooper. I'm
Ooh.
going to pick the Packers.
Oh no, I like contrarianism. Let's go.
I'll wait till they look really
Spicy good,
dominant.
dude.
Then I'll
It's a
pick the
spicy good.
Lions like 5 weeks in a row. But for the season opener, I think I'm going to pick the Packers at home.
Fair enough. If Detroit were playing at home, would you still have the Packers?
No, then I'd probably have the Lions.
Okay.
But I just don't know if the Lions are going to be super dominant since they lost both their coordinators and stuff like that,
Mm-hmm.
All right, next up, we've got the Texans at the Los Angeles Rams. This
Yeah.
could be another close game because both these teams are kind of good, kind of shaky. Who the hell knows? I know you have a death wish against Sean McVay or something.
I
But
like the guy. I just think he's terrible as a coach. Or not even so much as a coach, but as a game manager. One of the worst.
so how do
But
you think he's gonna purposely tank this game so his team can get off to a quick 0-1 start?
okay, first of all, I think he's gonna have Puka Nakua playing defense on kickoffs, so he can get injured before he can ever catch a ball. Okay. Second of all, when there's a minute 30 left and they're down by 4 points, he's gonna have the team kick a field goal. Okay, and they're never gonna see the ball again. All right, and Houston is gonna win the game by one.
That should be your prop bet. He has to do
I've got
both
a
those
better one, but
things.
that wasn't good. Kicks a field goal while down by more than 3 points in the final 5 minutes.
And Puka has to play on defense somehow.
That'd be a great prop, yeah.
So are you picking the Texans to win this?
I do actually think the Rams stand a decent chance, and are a decent team, but yeah, I do have the Texans to win this one. I really liked what I saw from them 2 years ago. Last season was a little bit of a disappointment, but I still think that you look at the offense and you say they're capable of getting it done. I love CJ.
They say Stafford's kind of banged up, but the Texans don't have Joe Mixon for the season opener. I don't know. Both these teams, I don't know what the hell they're going to be this season. I could see them both getting off to a really bad start and just kind of floundering over the season, and I could see them both making the playoffs. It's really tough to pick one of these.
I don't think either one of those is like a crazy call.
I guess I'll pick the Rams too, just because you picked them.
I picked the Texans.
You did?
Yeah.
Okay, well I'm still picking the Rams.
Okay.
That's
Shows you how much you value my opinion.
At least they still got that Kyron Williams guy. I think he's a good running back.
Well, Jason, if you pick the Texans, I guess. Sorry, if you pick the Rams, I guess I'll pick the Rams. I picked the Texans. Well, Jason, I'm picking the Rams.
Yeah.
Oh, story of my damn life, man.
All
No.
right. Next up, we've got the game of the week Sunday night. We've got the rematch in the divisional round between the Ravens at Buffalo.
I think Dallas Philly is still the game of the week, but yeah, like this is
Sure.
absolutely the Sunday night game. If that's the season opener, because this is just superstardom right here.
Dallas, they're like the featherweights in that game. This is like an actual matchup, man.
Okay, okay, you know what? That's fair. That's actually fair. This really is, like if your game is only as good as its weakest link, this is definitely the strongest game of the week.
Yep.
It feels so bad to pick against either of these teams, doesn't it, Chrissy?
I feel worse picking against Buffalo because the Bills and Josh Allen have become like my second favorite team in the last like 5 years. Whereas
Hmm.
before that used to be like Green Bay, New England, the Patriot or Niners or something, Denver maybe. I liked all those teams. Now I've kind of evolved or changed over the years. Cowboys are still my favorite team, but those are like my second favorite team now. I don't know. It was a really close game between them in the playoffs, but a
Yeah,
lot of times
yeah,
teams are different the how they start the season than how they end it, obviously.
that's
And
true.
the Ravens were kind of flimsy at the beginning of last season.
Yes, they were. They were. They really like showed a lot of scintillating talent and also a lot of mistakes, and they cleaned up those mistakes as the season went on.
I'm in the camp that Derrick Henry regresses off the face of the observable universe this season because
Okay.
Father Time's finally going to jump him in a dark
Even
alley.
if that happens, Justice Hill.
That's yeah, but he's like a pass catching back, and Derrick
Uh-huh.
Henry's like a fat slob, running back you
That's fair.
can't catch.
Yeah, the bell cow. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's a Bills home game, and almost just for the sake of that alone, I'm going to give it to the Bills.
If this were December, I would probably give this, and we still didn't have any information on the teams. I would probably give this to the Bills, but they are more of a cold weather team. They sometimes get off to like 2-2 starts, and that's even, provided that they're playing their regular schedule. Here they're playing Baltimore. I'm so damn impressed by Baltimore's rushing game. Obviously,
Uh,
we know that they're, that Lamar is incredible. But I cannot pick against Baltimore right now. I just think they're so good. I mean, put
there's
them
no
against the
wrong choice.
Commanders or the Eagles in Week 1. Maybe I'm picking against Baltimore.
There's
But
no wrong choice.
huh?
I said there's no wrong choice. Unless there,
Yeah, there
until
really
there
is.
is.
Yeah, we'll find out. One of us is making the wrong choice. We just don't know it. So you've got Buffalo. I've got Baltimore.
I just think I think the trend of consistency favors the
Yeah,
Bills more
I'll be rooting for the
at the
Bills. I
moment.
love it.
At the
Yeah, I
moment.
love the Bills. I
I
love
wasn't
the
a
Bills.
fan of like Lamar, but yeah, the last two seasons have really impressed me, and I am a believer in Lamar.
And
So
while Josh Allen is a top, 3 or 4 quarterback in the league, I think he showed more mistakes last season than I've ever seen from him. As much as he was still very good, and I think if you look at his body of work, he's stellar.
if anything,
He
last
showed a
season was his
little bit.
best season ever. He like cut his picks from by like 60% or something. He went from like 20 picks to like six or something.
It seemed to
And
me
he's
like he
always
was
been a
making
turnover machine.
more mistakes in clutch moments. And just like making like more poor decisions in terms of like should I pass it or should I run or should I throw it out of bounds,
Uh,
despite making a lot of those things still work.
I don't know if I agree with that too.
I know that you watched a bunch of Bills. I also watched a bunch of Bills. I was slightly less impressed by him last season, or maybe I mean, when he was impressive he was still really impressive, right? But
Well,
i
he
i,
got to the
I was slightly
championship,
more.
won the MVP. It takes a lot to impress your ass, then I guess.
Yeah. I mean, look, Aaron Rodgers won the MVP in a season where not only no quarterback deserved it, but there were like three quarterbacks that deserved it quicker than he did, and he went on to stink it up against the
Uh,
Rams and prove me right.
he'll cite anything to bring down Aaron's legacy, man.
Pretty much,
You're such a unrepentant hater.
I am, and I don't repent.
Okay, our
All
last
right.
game of the week, Monday
Yeah.
night, we got the Vikings at Chicago, and
hmm
I think Chicago has got to be the team that more people than any other team are like hyping the fuck out of it. They're gonna take this gigantic leap. I've seen God knows how many people have them being like second in the division, making the playoffs, and shit like that. They're gonna go from I don't know how many wins they had last season, maybe like 6 or 7. Uh,
Chicago?
maybe they only had 5. Yeah, I don't know. The people got them at like 10, 11 wins and stuff like that.
Oh, that's insane.
What?
That's insane.
I don't think it's insane. I just think it's
And
a lot
11
of things would
wins?
have to go right, you know.
They would have. I mean, they would have to either beat the Lions, Vikings, or Packers consistently, or win like 9 of their 10 games outside the division.
Yeah, I hear you. I just
Yeah,
I feel like I don't know what the Vikings are going to be
driving
with this
injury.
new rookie quarterback, so
Uh huh.
I almost kind of favor the Viking or the Bears in this game just because I was never in the Sam Darnold camp and
Ooh,
I'm yet to be in the JJ McCarthy camp straight out of the gate, you know.
the Bears here.
Yeah, I'm going to pick the Bears for this game.
Wow.
I don't think
So
you
I
can
mean,
just
we'll talk about
replace.
it offline, but I think this is one of those games where you'd be going for angling for a 2 pointer here. I don't think that the Bears are even. You have the Bears to get last place in the division.
I do.
Against a team that won 14 games last year.
I do.
Yeah, I've got the Vikings because I'm not stupid. Sorry.
Okay. Well,
Um, no, I appreciate the spice. I appreciate the spice that you're picking here.
I think I can afford it.
If last season is an indication, I'm gonna need the lead. And
Yeah.
I'll pick him. Um,
I don't think it's far fetched. I mean, all it would take is for a rookie quarterback to have a rough season, career opener, and the Bears would win. I mean, that's not far
I'm
fetched.
not saying the Vikings are gonna be great, but what are the Bears gonna do that's
It's
gonna
his
gonna
second season with Caleb. I don't think he's like proven his like
he's not
draft pick
drowned
status.
here or
But the
anything,
Bears
but
have a good defense. They got a great special teams. I'm not really familiar with the offensive weapons per se, but I think in his like second season and the Detroit offensive coordinator's their new head coach. I mean, all those things put together, they got to be on
Mhm.
some kind of upward trajectory. No,
I mean, they give up the most points in the division last year, and the Lions
okay.
were in the. I guess the Lions
Their
probably
division's
put all
amazing, though.
their
It's
on the
like
season, but what?
said their division's amazing.
Their division's a man. Yeah.
It's
It's just. Yeah, I don't even know that they're gonna be better than last year just because the division's so good. I mean, I think maybe with the eye test they'll be better than last year, but
I think it's possible that I don't know if this has ever happened before, but I think it's possible that all 4 teams could go to the playoffs. Like one of them wins the
I don't
division,
think
and the other
I.
3 get all the wild card spots.
Well, I'll tell you why that's never happened before because it would have been literally impossible until like 3 years ago when they made it 7 teams.
Okay, well there you go. It could happen
Yeah.
then.
Well, I mean, you know, if whew.
I'm not saying that's going to happen. I'm just saying if there was an atmosphere for that to currently exist, it would be in this division this like season.
Also, if all
Just because
four
the
teams went
Browns
to
aren't
the
good enough.
playoffs, that would mean that only one team from the NFC East makes the playoffs.
Yeah,
And
that's
and
true. Yeah, that's true.
yeah, and for that to happen, and for the Bears as well as the Vikings, Packers, and Lions to all make the playoffs, I think we're talking insanity here.
I agree.
Um,
It is
I
crazy.
don't mean Jeremy Lin sanity.
I agree. It's crazy.
It's not going to happen. The Chicago Bears, I think, are not a good team. I'm sorry to say it because I like the
You
hope we
know,
have for them. I've got
you
the Vikings,
you
and with
think
that, I think this might be the most split decisions we've ever had at 8.
really?
Yeah,
Really? I mean, go through them for me. 8.
Jacksonville, Carolina, Raiders, Patriots, Saints, Cardinals, Steelers, Jets, Packers, Lions, Rams, Houston,
Oh, you're
Bills,
right. Yeah.
Ravens, and the Bears.
You're
Somehow you
right.
have them taking on the Vikings.
I don't think it's crazy. All right. Well, that sounds exciting. It looks like one of us could get off to a promising start to the
Can you
season.
imagine one of us is 8 games ahead after week one?
One of us could go down in flames and spend the rest of the season trying to desperately make it up, while the other person picks conservatively the rest of the year, you know?
Yeah, or after all of this, we could end up splitting 4-4.
Yep, that's possible.
Absolutely possible. In fact, probable.
I don't feel like
But
there's anything I picked that's like completely fucking bonkers.
yeah, I mean, look, week one is always a Rorschach, right? Whatever you value, wherever your feelings are, right? Because we know so little about how the teams have actually gelled during the offseason. Unless Tyreek Hill is throwing a fit on social media or something.
I feel like me calling the Saints might be the biggest stretch. I don't know.
Saints feels a little
But
bit stretchy.
I don't think the Cardinals are good, so I don't know.
I will admit the Jets might be a little bit of a stretch, but I mean, look,
I
you
know.
know,
Gotta hate.
it's not as much of a stretch as some of the teams that you picked against the Chiefs last year. So, all right, finally, let's do our prop bets.
You go first,
So
because I never
for
know
all
these.
the prop bets that you brought up that I could have done, I have the Cleveland Browns playing 3 or more quarterbacks and combining just the quarterbacks, so interceptions and fumbles by the quarterbacks, 4 or more turnovers by Cleveland quarterbacks during week one. So they'll play at least 3 quarterbacks, one of them probably in garbage time.
That's a good
And
one.
thank you. I looked at the. I've been looking the whole offseason a lot of times at the Cleveland depth chart. Mostly just because I like seeing, the asshole rapist at the bottom of that depth chart. But yeah, as of a few days ago, their depth chart is Joe Flacco #1, nobody #2, and everybody else listed at #3. That's how it's actually like on the Cleveland Browns website. They've got Gabriel. They've got Shadur Sanders, and they've got um, then they've got Deshaun Watson, all listed as #3 in that order.
I like that one. They're gonna play three different quarterbacks. I like that.
Thank you very much.
It's
And
almost unfair because it's the Browns, but I'll give it to you.
too likely. Well, that's why I had the 4+ turnovers just by the quarterbacks.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that Flacco, as much as he's the best person in that locker room, as much as he has done so much for that franchise when they didn't believe in him, I think the fact is they still don't believe in him, and he's going to have a very short leash.
Hope you're wrong, because somehow I ended up with Jerry Judy on my fantasy team.
I mean, good luck with that, bud.
All right, I'm gonna say that not only I'm gonna say simultaneously the
Huh?
Broncos are gonna get 10 sacks against whoever the Titans start
God,
collectively.
you're 10 sacks all the time, and it never even gets close.
10 sacks for
Denver
the
has.
Broncos at
Okay.
the same time that Ashton Genty guy on the Raiders, he's gonna get 200 rushing yards.
You're making two different prop bets?
Well, they both got to come true.
Ashton,
Not
200
not either
plus
or.
rushing yards, not just all purpose.
Yeah, Russia.
Okay. Usually I want a prop that includes things from one game, but what the hell, man? We're friends. You can do it.
Man, you did such goofy shit that included like 5 or 6 teams. All the teams with blue on their uniforms will do well this week.
I
It's,
did that once.
yeah.
I think. Look, that was at least something that could be explained in one factoid. Either happens or it doesn't.
All right. that does
All
it
right.
for week 1 of the 2025 NFL season. Got anything? Got anything to say to end it out?
Not really, man. It was fun doing this with you, and I'm out for revenge this year.
All right. Good luck with that.
I'm gonna need it. Take care, my friend.
All right. See you guys.